What's going on, sports fans? Welcome to Legends Never Die. I am your host, The Legend Crosby. So much happened over this weekend. Welcome back. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Ready for turkey dates. A little gloomy here in Vegas. Nonetheless, we're inside. Not worried about it. Let's get down to business, shall we? We'll start off with the NFL. Boy, oh boy, did I have a rough weekend. I'm happy I am not a gambling man. My picks just did not come out as I thought they were going to. Nonetheless, it was a great weekend. As we all say, on any given Sunday, you can win or you can lose. Hey, a lot of these teams took that to heart this weekend. So let's get down to some of these scores, shall we? Early game started off as follows. We had the Tennessee Titans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Tennessee came in there, took that sucker down in overtime. Final score was 30-24. Ryan Tannehill went 22 of 31 for 259. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Derrick Henry, man amongst boys. 28 carries, 133 yards, 1 touchdown. Had the 29-yard touchdown in overtime to seal the deal. Lamar Jackson was so-so. Baltimore just was so-so. I'm expecting more out of them, but sometimes these are the growing pains that you have to go through to reach your final destination, which is a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson went 17-29 for 186, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He had 13 rush for 51 yards. In any other person's form, that's a generic day. A great day. For him, it's a generic day. So, shout out to you, Tennessee, man. Mike Vrabel got you guys playing some great football. There was a little situation in the end of the game, overtime, but hey, tensions are running high, man. We got things to do. We got games to win. Moving on, 4-6 Detroit Lions, who I thought was going to take this game down, played against the 4-7 Carolina Panthers. They were shut out. Shut the hell out. 20-0. Was the final score. I was expecting something more out of Matthew Stafford. Patricia's days look like they're numbered. I told a good friend of mine, shout out to TJ again, I told him I had a feeling Matt Patricia was going to be gone at the end of this season. They were going to replace him with Jim Harbaugh. Let's keep an eye on that and see if I'm right as far as that prediction is concerned. Matthew Stafford went 33 for 178. No touchdowns. 5 sacks. 5 sacks. They were hitting him pretty good, man. 40 total yards of rushing for Detroit. I know they are a running back by committee team. Adrian Peterson just looked old. This was the first time I could really say that. Maybe he'll bounce back next week. But, for 40 total rushing yards, that's insane. Philip Walker comes in for the Carolina Panthers. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago. He came in October. When Bridgewater first went down, he went 1 of 4 for like 10 yards. It wasn't a great showing. Had no faith in him this time. Guy came from the XFL. There's a reason he's still around. 24 for 34, 258, 1 touchdown. He did have 2 picks, but that's a fair game for a backup quarterback to come in, cement 20 points to a 0-point showing from the Detroit Lions. Shaking my head. The Philadelphia Eagles went over to the Cleveland Browns. Another game I thought Carson Wentz was going to show up. I figured no Myles Garrett. I'm not a big fan of Baker Mayfield, but you know what? Baker Mayfield did just control the game. That's all they asked him to do. Carson Wentz went 21 of 35 for 234. He had 2 tugs, 2 picks. He was hit 5 times as well with 5 sacks. Baker Mayfield went 12 of 22 for 204. See, game managing. He had 3 sacks. Now, defensive end, Oliver Vernon. Shout out to you, good sir. 4 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 safety. That's got to be player of the week material right there. Way to step in after Myles Garrett went down. Just to show up and perform that way. Fantastic job. Taki. I like saying that. Taki had 1 INT touchdown. Fantastic run by that young man that led off the second quarter charge. The Patriots took on the Houston Texans. This was a game that I saw going either way. I did see New England pulling this out. Belichick always has those kind of games. Nonetheless, that wasn't the answer for this one. They lost 20-27 to the Houston Texans. Cam Newton went 26 for 40, 365. He did have a touchdown, 2 sacks. Was a good game. Good game for him. I can't complain about the game. It just looks like they just lost it at the end there. Deshaun Watson went 28 of 37 for 344. He had 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Huge game for that young man. Please keep showing them signs of improvement. Stay out of the way of them bullets coming at you, Deshaun. We need you to make it till next season. J.J. Watt had an outstanding game as well. Shout out to you, good sir. The Steelers went to Jacksonville and completely dominated that game. No Gardner Minshew this game. They had a guy in there by the name of Jake Luton. He is a 6th-round rookie. Played not too bad. He went 16 of 37 for 151. He had 4 costly turnovers in the game. It was just moving too fast for him. First day out there. He'll slow down if he needs to come in and play again. But he didn't look horrible. That's the one thing I will say. It wasn't a terrifying exhibition, but it was 4 picks nonetheless. Ben went 32 of 46 for 267, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. James Conner went 13 rushes for 89 yards. I will explain the rushing situation after we finish going down these scores. Moving on. The Atlanta Falcons played the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans came in there and knocked that sucker down with a baseball bat. 24-9. 9 points, Matt Ryan. Matty Ice. Cold as ice. It's okay. It is what it is. 3-2 now under the helm of Raheem Morris. You guys should have had a better play date yesterday than what you did. It was a shocker to me. The defense just looked petty. Matt Ryan went 19 of 37 for 232. He had 2 picks on the day, sacked 8 freaking times. 8 times he was sacked, okay? That's just kind of how that went. There was no running game to speak of whatsoever. I didn't even write the numbers down. It was just that bad. It was a piss poor, pathetic showing. Taysom Hill, big shocking day for me. 18 of 23 for 233 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. He had 3 sacks, 10 carries, 51 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. So that makes up for the fact that, he didn't throw any in. He did run in too. Almost 200 yards rushing total. Michael Thomas came in, did what he normally does, 9 receptions, 104 yards. Just doesn't seem like that New Orleans Saints train is slowing down. They were questioning Sean Payton all week about that decision to start that guy. Even I myself questioned him. 30 years old, 18 attempts, not completions, 18 pass attempts. Comes in, does a pretty good showing. Can't even be upset with the gentleman. Moving on, we have the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Washington football team. Very happy to see Alex Smith get the win. Shout out to you, good sir. Round of applause. Joe Burrow got injured in the 3rd quarter, was carted off the field. This man has torn his ACL as well as his MCL, so we will not be seeing this young man anytime soon. You had a great rookie season. It's the same question that I have for the LA San Diego Chargers that I have for Cincinnati. Are you guys dropping these rookie quarterbacks back too much? He, in 3 quarters, he threw 34 times already. He was 22 of 34 for 203 yards and a touchdown. Okay, that seems like a lot. Ryan Finley came in. He went 3 of 10 for 30 yards, had a late pick, 4 sacks on him. They were just teeing off on him. They knew they could peel their ears back at that time. Defense was having a good time. He did have 1 rush for 19 yards, which was their longest rush of the day. Very, very sad to see that. No running game for them either. Again, let's say welcome back to Alex Smith. 17 of 25. Good game management. He went 166 with 1 touchdown. Did have a pick. Over 150 yards rushing collectively for the Redskins. 150 yards rushing. Let that sizzle in your spirit. I had to take that from your country. The 6-4 Dolphins played the Denver Broncos. The Broncos actually won this game. This was a 20-13 event. Tua went 11 of 20 for 83 yards. He did have a touchdown, but he was sacked 6 times. I do recall you saying this game was easy, fella. You didn't even get 100 yards in 4 quarters. But yeah, that's that. You were pulled to the 4th. Ryan Fitzpatrick, came in. He went 12 of 18 for 117. He did throw the end of the game interception that led to the end of it. 56 total rush yards for Miami. That was the thing that I was most concerned about. 56 total rush yards. Now, Drew Lock went 18 of 30. He had 270 yards, 1 pick, 192 total rush yards for Denver. Melvin Gordon went 15 for 84 of those yards. I bet you the Chargers are missing the fact they didn't sign him now. Moving on, the Green Bay Packers took on the Indianapolis Colts. This was a good game. Good game right until the very last part. A 31-34 in overtime. It was sad to see that fumble. I don't want to call out anybody's name, but that fumble on the 30-yard line led to the field goal for the Indianapolis Colts. Lost it for the Green Bay Packers. A-Rod went 27-38 for 311 yards. He had 3 of them tugs. He did have the 1 pick. He had 1 sack. 66 yards rushing. Okay, remember that. 66 yards rushing. Phillip Rivers went 24 of 36 for 288. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack, 140 yards rushing total for the Indianapolis Colts. The defense for Indy stepped up in the second half in a big way. They didn't look good coming out in the first half, but in the second half, they did look fantastic. All right, moving on. The weirdest game for me, the Dallas Cowboys took on the Minnesota Vikings. Won. Who would have thunk it? I said here the other day, I don't think they're going to win another game for the rest of the season. They come out, they must have watched the show. That's all I can say. They must have watched the show. 31-28, Andy Dalton went 22 of 32 for 203. He had 3 of them tugs, 1 pick, 1 sack, 177 total yards rushing for the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott finally breaks 100, 21 rush for 103. No touchdowns for him on the ground. Andy Dalton did throw the game-winning touchdown. Good game for him, I guess. Welcome back. 2 weeks gone. It's good to actually see a stable quarterback in there holding it down until Dak gets back. Kirk Cousins did have a great game. You know, he gave us one of those "you like that" moments. It wasn't bad. It was 22 of 30. He was 314, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He did have 2 sacks. Not too bad. Dalvin Cook did run for 115 yards on 27 carries. He had a touch on that. He also had 5 catches for 45 yards. Good game for him. Thielen had a touchdown as well. Minnesota did what they had to do. Lost it at the end of the game. As we said, any given Sunday, that's how it goes. The Jets still are going to remain winless against the LA Chargers. Chargers took them down 34-28. Joe Flacco went 15 of 30 for 215. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack. Now Justin Herbert, see, these are the questions that I'm asking about these rookie quarterbacks. He goes 37 of 49. The guy's got to throw the ball 49 times for our team to win a game. There's some very serious questions that I have about the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator for my team. The defense always seems to give the game back in the second half. Week after week, we come out unstoppable. In that second half, the defense just lets up. The offense just lets up. Anthony Lynn, you're going to need to do something, man. You know the Chargers organization does not play around. They'll fire you if you have a 13-3 win season. I've seen it happen, okay? The running game was non-existent. There was no, I don't even think they had like 25 yards running. They had a huge punt failure that took them back 28 yards, killed all their rushing whatsoever. Keenan Allen, shout out. 16 receptions, which is a franchise record for the Chargers. 16 receptions, 145 yards, 1 touchdown on the day. Again, the defense had a horrible letdown in the second half. Very disappointing to see that. I mean, you only win by 6 against the winless Jets. I do get we have a rookie quarterback in there, but again, Anthony Lynn, you need to ask yourself some questions, sir. Moving on to the best game last night. It was a really good game. Apologies, Raiders and Raider fans alike, for disrespecting you. You guys played a hell of a game yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs came into Las Vegas. They played the Raiders. Final was 35-31, and this took a nice game-winning touchdown drive by Pat Mahomes to even win this game. Okay, Derek Carr was playing out of his mind yesterday. The defense for the Raiders looked exceptional. I don't think I can call it a fluke anymore. They look good. They look real good. Pat Mahomes threw for 45 as well. It's not a lot of balls being thrown out here. But he was 34 for 45, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Again, he did have the game-winning drive. Derek Carr came out through 23 of 31 for 275. 3 tugs, 1 pick on the day. Not a bad game. That was a great game. I hope that you guys had a chance to watch that one. Moving on, just some quick news from the NFL. Multiple players test positive for the Rona in Baltimore. Baltimore's got a game this Thursday against Pittsburgh. Facilities shut down. We'll see how that goes. So far, I've been hearing it's just a couple of players, but because of contact tracing, I think it's going to be multiple players that may have to miss this Thursday's game. That's only a couple of days away. Thursday, Thanksgiving, that will be annoying if they have to move that, but this is the Rona world we live in, okay? Myles Garrett will also be out again next weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Get better. Oliver, looks like they're going to need you for another week, man. So come on out there, bring your A game again, buddy. Now, let's talk about Monday night's game right over there. That's right, folks. Tonight, we got a barn burner for you. I got the 6-3 LA Rams taking on the 7-3 Tampa Bucks. Oh my God, this game is going to be so exciting. Tom Brady on one side, Aaron Donald on the other side. I'm looking for the defense to step it up for LA tonight. I expect Aaron Donald to break away from some of those double teams. If not, at least provide some space for the rest of that front seven to take charge. We all know the rules about Tom Brady. You end up knocking him off his spot. He kind of freezes up throughout the rest of the game. I expect to see LA do that tonight. I'm taking the Rams to go ahead and knock down Tom Brady just a little bit. They'll be back next week for it, though. I'm expecting to see the Rams. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Yeah, that should be a pretty hot and heavy game that we got going on tonight. Excited to see Tom Brady and what he can do out here in LA. Let us turn our attention to the NBA. Boy, oh boy, were there so many moves to be made this weekend. NBA was smart, though. They didn't really bring out anything on Sunday. They took everything on Saturday, tried to do as much signing as they can so they didn't have to really compete with football on Sunday. Good for the NBA. Always thinking ahead, always forward moving. We're going to get into all of these movements, all the people staying still. I got a lot to talk about. Sit there, bear with me. Let's get into it, shall we? First things first, let's talk about the Celtics. Celtics did what they needed to do. Signed Jason Tatum to a 5-year max, okay? This is a 5-year rookie max, $195 million on the deal. There's going to be a lot of meal deals today, okay? This is not McDonald's. Let's talk about them. The Celtics also signed Jeff Teague to a 1-year deal. They also put Tristan Thompson down for a 2-year, $19 million deal. Okay, a lot of money being moved over there. Bringing in Jeff Teague, I like that. Had to bring in Tristan Thompson. Needed the center since they got rid of Enes Kanter. I like that as well. Let's see where that goes from there. The Atlanta Hawks are the ones who are the winner of the Bogdan special. So Bogdan Bogdanovic signs a 4-year, $72 million deal to the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, the Kings do have 48 hours to counteroffer. I refuse to believe that they're going to sign him for that much. I don't know what the Kings are doing right now. We will get into them a little bit later. They have lost a couple of players, but I don't see them countering that offer, so I do see him going to Atlanta. Atlanta's been making some moves, man. We'll talk about those in a second. They signed Danilo Gallinari to a 3-year, $61.5 million deal. They signed Chris Dunn to a 2-year, $10 million deal. They signed Rajon Rondo to a 2-year, $15 million deal. They are really trying to put, Solomon Hill also signed for a 1-year meal deal with the Hawks. Okay, so they have done all that they could to put some pieces around Trae Young. They've added some good depth. I like the moves that they've made. I don't know if that Bogdanovich $72 million is going to bite them in the butt, but who am I to say what you pay a man? He just needs to go perform. That's all we talk about here. All right, let's move on to Toronto. Toronto adds center Alex Len to the team. They needed some players after they gave up Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol. He averaged 8 points, 6 rebounds. They also signed Aaron Baines, and then they re-signed Chris Boucher. Okay, so that's the moves that Toronto made. Unfortunately, did have to get rid of Serge. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Also got rid of Mark. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But they also, in case you forgot, they did max out. I can't even remember his name right now. Van Fleet. So they did get him in there as well. So we'll see how that goes for Toronto. The Tampa Bay Raptors this year because they can't play in Toronto. So Cleveland is our next team. Not a whole lot going on. They signed guard Damian Dotson to a 2-year, $4 million deal. They also picked up JaVale McGee from the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers did opt in for $4 million, and the Lakers traded him over to the Cavs. And a second round pick. They picked up Jordan Bell and Alfonso McKinney. I don't even think the Lakers will probably keep both of those guys. That was just to clear up cap space for Marc Gasol anyway. So that was that. Let's get right into the Lakers because they have just been moving. I don't know if I should call this Pelinka's moves or these are Clutch Sports moves because it just kind of all seems to be intertwined. Pelinka's going to get the credit nonetheless. Good job. Shout out Rob Pelinka. They re-signed Markieff Morris to a minimum 1-year deal. His brother got a huge deal, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. I want to see how you guys feel about that. As we were discussing a moment ago, Marc Gasol signs a 2-year deal with the Lakers. I believe it was for $19 million. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to do some more research. I'll get back to you guys on Thursday. KCP, this is the one that I'm happy about. He re-signs with the Lakers. He gets a 3-year, $40 million deal. Congratulations to you, KCP. You waited it out, man. You got your money, brother. Way to do it. The big move was Montrezl Harrell coming over from the LA Clippers. He signs a 2-year, $19 million deal to be a Laker. He says he wants a ring, doesn't feel he'll get one in the basement, comes up to the suites. Welcome, Montrezl Harrell, 6th man of the year. Boom, we like it. Lakers also signed Wes Matthews to a 1-year, $3.6 million deal. We also did get the Dennis Schroeder trade. I know you guys know about the Dennis Schroeder trade for Danny Green. The big news is Lakers got 2 out of the 3 6th Man of the Year finalists last year. They're pretty deep, man. They're pretty deep. So good luck to the rest of y'all out there thinking that you're going to come steal our shine. We're going ahead. We're going to take number 18. The Suns. They signed back Dario Saric for a 3-year, $27 million deal. They also bring in Jay Crowder. I like that pickup for a 3-year, $30 million deal. Phoenix saw what they did in the bubble. They said they can get better, and I believe that they have gotten better. I could see them moving up to that 5th, 6th spot in the West. Play on, man. Devin Booker, I don't really see any reason for you to even walk away anymore. I was expecting him to go. That's a good team that you got running with you right now, man. So congratulations to you guys. Austin Rivers has gone over to the Knicks. He has signed a 3-year, $10 million deal. I thought he was going to go be a Laker. Lakers got Wes Matthews. Can't be mad at that. Let's move forward. The Knicks have also signed Nerlens Noel to a 1-year, $5 million deal. Now the question that I have, Knicks fans, y'all got to haul a lot of money out there. There's a lot of money. Y'all got millions out there. You ain't done nothing with it. It don't look like there's any big players coming this year. I'm really wondering what's going to be the circumstance with that money. You can't sit on it. Somebody's got to pay for it. Not a lot of players still left out there. Y'all got to do something. Serge Ibaka, like I said earlier, he has left the Toronto Raptors. He has signed a 2-year, $19 million deal with the Clippers. Good job for you. They're stacking up that roster. And Marcus Morris, he signs a 4-year, $64 million deal with the Clippers. Now, he's got the money. The brothers got the ring. I want to know down in the comments below, which one would be more important to you? The base salary, which is about $2 million, but you have a very serious chance of getting another ring, or you getting this 4-year, $64 million deal. Which one would you take? You taking the 2 rings in a row? You taking the money? Talk to me. Moving on, Willie Cauley-Stein says he is going to stay with Dallas. He has signed a 2-year, $8.2 million deal. This is a big deal. As we were talking about before, Kristaps is not going to be there for the beginning of the season. So it's good for them to get as much big man and prior help that they can. So good job for Dallas for keeping him on board. The Warriors have signed a 1-year deal with Kent Bazemore. This is a $2.3 million deal. He's going to get that. Brad Wanamaker also has agreed to a 1-year, $2.25 million deal to go with the Warriors. The Warriors are just like, let's just stay as good as we can this year until we can get Clay back on here. Then we'll discuss what we need to do at the next level. So good job for Golden State. You know, you guys are probably fighting for that 6th, 7th, 8th seed. I could see that happening because there is no Clay. A lot of new guys coming in, maybe not a lot of continuity. So 6th, 7th, 8th seed is kind of what I'm looking at. But then the year after that, I see you guys right back into the picture. Spider Mitchell, shout out. Utah Jazz have given this man the 5-year, $195 million deal, max rookie extension. Woo! That's almost $200 million. for 5 years. Do something about it. Wow. Congratulations, Donovan Mitchell. Well deserved. The next step for you, sir, knowing when to lead your team to victory in those playoffs. I saw it coming through a little bit. You and Connolly just weren't completely on the same page. I expect to see better things from Utah. I expect to see Utah do better than Denver this coming season. But that's just me. Don't quote me. They do send center Ed Davis and 2 future first-round picks away for cash. They send those guys over to the Knicks for some cash. So they're making some space there. Derek Favors is going to go back to Utah on a 3-year, $27 million deal. Congratulations. They're going to keep this team intact. Big one for me was Jordan Clarkson. Re-signs 4-year, $52 million deal. Congratulations, Jordan Clarkson. You showed your stuff last year. It's good to see you no disrespect out of Cleveland because you didn't look sharp in Cleveland. Everywhere else, I've been excited to see you play. Miss you being as a Laker, bro. But nonetheless, that's where we are. Moving forward to the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland has signed free agent center Harry Giles for a minimum. They have also signed C.J. Ellaby. He was their 46th overall pick. Don't normally talk about the rooks coming in, but people that I know, that's their family. Congratulations to you guys. May all the success come your way. Stays close to home. He's up there from the Washington area. Played at Washington State. Guy's a 6'6" baller. I do see him putting on maybe 10, 15 pounds over the next 2 to 3 seasons. He can shoot, man. I can't wait to see that guy play. It should be pretty interesting, man. And I like the hair, man. Can't even be mad at it. Carmelo Anthony's going to resign on a 1-year deal. They didn't put out any numbers. Can't really give you anything. Rodney Hood took a chance on himself. I like it. He opted out of a $6 million contract. Re-signs with Portland on a 2-year, $21 million deal. Congratulations, Rodney Hood. I like what Portland's doing. They got some bigger guys in there. I could see them making some moves this year, being consistent throughout the whole year, as opposed to the way they started off last season. So, good luck. Shout out Dame Time, and McCollum. You guys get that thing done. The Bucks. After the Bogdanovich thing, it just kind of crumbles from there. The Bucks, they signed Brian Forbes to a 2-year deal. They signed small forward Torrey Craig to a deal. Don't have any information on it. It's just a multi-year ink. They signed DJ Augustine to a 3-year, $21 million deal. Now, he'll be the backup for Drew Holiday. I like that play. That's a good deal for me. I like DJ Augustine. I didn't want to see him lose a spot in Orlando, but, the new guy comes in what he's supposed to do. They also signed Bobby Portis to a 2-year deal. So they're doing their best. I do expect to see 1 more, maybe 2 more trades before trade deadline because they have to be serious about keeping Giannis happy, okay? That's the most important thing. The Nuggets, they do hold on to Paul Millsap. He's going to sign a 1-year, $10 million deal to stay home. I like that. Stay there. And then since Torrey Craig left, they signed Isaiah Hartenstein. He's on a 2-year deal, and of course they lost Mason Plumlee, which we'll talk about a little bit. Oh, matter of fact, we'll talk about it right now. The Pistons take Mason Plumlee off of the Nuggets' hands. He's going to sign a 3-year, $25 million deal to go play in Detroit. They're going to need that big man spot, and I like him as a good fit alongside Blake Griffin. I think that's a fair fight. They also are going to get Jeremy Grant on a 3-year, $60 million deal. So they stole 2 of the Nuggets players. Bada bing, bada boom. Now they've got a pretty legit squad over there, and I can't remember my guy's name. Coach of Toronto back in the day, the brother. He's got a good squad there. It'll pop in my head later. Nonetheless, Jeff Green, he's going to the Nets, and the Nets also re-signed Joe Harris on a 4-year, $75 million deal. So congratulations, man. The shooter, he got his money. And I like he's going to stay there. They need that there. I know everybody's so excited about Durant and Kyrie, but you have to field 5 players. And other guys got to be able to put up points. Okay? I like that. Avery Bradley decided to opt out with the Lakers. We'll see you, brother. He's going to sign a 2-year, $11.6 million deal with the Heat. Congratulations. I think that's probably a really good fit for him, to be honest. Backing up Goran Dragic, I like that. I can't even be mad at that. I was a little annoyed when he opted out, but I think that's a fair fit for him. They also signed Mo Harkless to a 1-year, $3.6 million deal. And, of course, Goran Dragic, he's going to stay. He re-signs for 2 years, $37.4 million deal. And Myers Leonard, he re-signs on a 2-year, $9 million deal. Now, the one thing that was confusing was he didn't get any playing time in the playoffs. I don't understand what that was about. I thought that was kind of weird. He didn't get any PT. So you signing him for $4.5 million, it's kind of weird to me. Don't understand what that was, but he's a good player. I like him as a ball player. Let's see what he can do this time around. Now, the surprise move. Charlotte, look at these guys trying to come out. They signed Gordon Hayward. Everybody was wondering where Gordon Hayward was going to go. Down goes Gordon Hayward. He's going to Charlotte. He gets a 4-year, $120 million deal. That's not bad, bro. I guess I like the pickup. We'll have to see how this team meshes together. And the question is, what are you going to do with Rozier? Now that you got the LaMelo coming in, he's going to want to play point. Is Rozier going to want to fall back into the backup spot? That was the reason that he left Boston to begin with. So, don't know how that's going to work out. You know, Michael Jordan, you was a GOAT in ball playing, man. Let's see what you do here. They also signed Bismack Biyombo. No details yet, but he's going to be with Charlotte. Let's move forward to the Grizzlies. D'Anthony Melton, he signs a 4-year, $35 million deal to stay put. Good pickup. Let's see how that works out. Not sure what direction the Grizzlies are going in. Big fan of Ja. Let's see how they move that team forward. They also do re-sign John Concher. He's got a multi-year. Didn't get any information on it. They also re-signed Jontay Porter. He's got a 3-year, $6 million deal. Not a whole lot of action going on with Memphis. They must be happy with what they got. Let's see that push because the West is stacking up. Michael Carter Williams, he decides to return to Orlando. Didn't get any information on it. Just know he's staying where he's at. Of course he would because they got rid of DJ Augustine. They're going to need something there. They also going to re-sign Gary Clark on the 2-year, $4 million deal. He'll get more playing time now that DJ's gone. Denzel Valentine, he signs his $4.7 million deal to stay with Chicago. Congratulations to you for that. You did get rid of Chris Dunn. Not excited about that play, but, you know, this is all Denzel squad. Let's see what they're going to put around him so that they can be in some sort of contention. Moving forward, the forward Davis Bertrand, he re-signs with the Wizards on a 5-year, $80 million deal. They also signed Robin Lopez. They take him away from Milwaukee. He is now in Washington. I don't get into all of the rumor and speculation. That's why I don't really care for that time right before free agency because you just hear rumor and speculation. John Wall saying he wants out. Don't really care, bro. If you sign, you're signed. Well, what does that matter? It's the same with the James Harden and Russell Westbrook. If you're on a dotted line, you what do you get to do? Yeah, you could play bad, but you just make your own self look bad. I don't get what's the premise there. You know, if you're off the contract, that's fair. Do what you got to do. But if you're on contract, shut up and play ball, man. I don't really know what to tell you. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, let's go on to Minnesota. They signed Malik Beasley. He came over there to them last year in a trade. They like what they got out of him. I think he'll probably end up still being the backup, but he got a 4-year, $60 million deal. Don't see him starting, see him coming off the bench. But that's a great pickup for them, you know, with the additions that they picked up in the offseason with some of their trades. That's all they've really done so far. Dwight Howard has signed a 1-year deal with Philly for the league minimum. He got 2.6. That's a great spell for Joel Embiid. There won't be all this infighting like I felt there was between him and Al Horford. That's a great addition to Philly's rotation. Philly's just doing everything they can. Big shout out to them. You know, Daryl Morey, man, can you come fix my house? And last but not least, shout out to Aaron Fox. He signs a 5-year, $163 million deal, max coverage for De'Aaron Fox. Congratulations, good sir. Well earned. Sacramento, what are you guys doing? You've lost a couple players. I get that you signed him to a max, but you've lost players, and I haven't seen you guys do anything to make up for it. So I'm not quite sure where we're going with that. Give me a call. Just let me know what's the plan. You know, Vlade, just give me a shout real quick. Luke Walton, you know we go way back. Give me a shout, okay? Moving on, last of the little bit of information that we got for the day. RSM Classic just passed this weekend. Hope you guys had a chance to watch. It was pretty good. Robert Streb, he takes it down after a really nice playoff between him and Kevin Kishner. He finishes the weekend at 19 under. Great little series. Congratulations, Robert. We'll see you in the next tournament. Great playoff win, okay? You had to come from behind to get that. Quick little top off. NASCAR. Kyle Busch Motorsports. He's signing John Hunter Nemechek to the team. Congratulations. That's going to be a good payday for the 23-year-old. Keep on racing. And last but not least, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. They're going to run it back January 23rd. Let the fight begin. If there's one thing I've missed, it's been some good fights. So this Rona has really kind of destroyed the fight scene, especially because I live in Vegas. It's been annoying. Nonetheless, good to see you guys back in action. Let me know what you guys are feeling down in the comments below. How do you think your team did as far as the free agency moves in the NBA? What are you thinking about your teams in the NFL? Who's going to take this thing down? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Take all those buttons. Push them over the ledge for me. This has been Legends Never Die. Again, I am your host, the Legend Crosby. We'll see you guys Thanksgiving morning. I'm out.